Hello, whoever's listening to this. I'm Jake. We're going to be doing a little Smackdown review today. Who am I joined with? You may be
I'm
wondering. Travis. Good old Travis. So, yeah, we won't waste any time. Let's get straight into it. So, we'll talk about how the show started. Um, Obviously,
Yeah.
I think,
Edge
yeah,
comes out.
Edge was, I was wondering, was it Edge or Bryan? Edge comes out
Oh,
in the
it was
promo.
Edge. Yeah.
Edge is coming out first, cutting a promo pretty much saying how he's crying, how he doesn't want Bryan getting a Universal title match before him because he won the Rumble. Which I mean is pretty stale if you ask me. Uh, what do you think, Travis? Tell me how you feel about this.
Honestly, there was a few different things because so his segment had a few parts. Like he started off the promo coming after Roman for making lame excuses and whatever,
Hmm.
which whatever. This is just it's part of the storyline, so that's just that. Then he comes after Daniel Bryan. And when he addresses Daniel Bryan, he talks about and like I said, there's like this weird line um, of what you should be trying to take seriously
Hmm.
because it's wrestling. You know,
Yeah.
but even in that, I think there still has to be even like just a modicum of realism. Like
Okay.
he was like, I outlasted 29 other men, sir. You were out of the match for like 40% of that. Like, wasn't he like under the rope or in the corner,
Yeah, he was.
wherever he
Yeah,
was?
just in the corner, just resting.
You see what I'm saying? He wasn't in most of the match, so it's like every time he says that, I'm just like, "Ugh." Like, and like I said,
Hmm.
I get it, but like, ugh, just that's one major gripe I have with that. Another, and like I was saying, I'm very happy. Like, I don't want anybody to get confused. I'm very happy for Adam Copeland. Um,
Who is
and I'm
Edge
so
if you
happy.
don't know?
Yeah, exactly. Like I Edge is great. Um, but the parts that I don't like most of my gripes are with the character. Like it's kind of like people like what people used to say about Roman. I don't like Joe or no, I don't like Roman. I like Joe, whatever.
Mm.
So like, and it's not even that. I like the character Edge too, but it's like this story is so dumb. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, what benefit? So all right, let's talk about this. So he goes in, he loses to Roman. Uh, it would serve to make Roman an even bigger heel.
Hmm.
Um, because he's crushing Edge's dreams
I
of coming back. You know
I,
what I'm
I
saying?
I think it's so obvious though it's not gonna happen. I really think Edge is gonna win that.
You think he's gonna win?
Yeah, I do. Because
In my opinion.
think how
Oh,
many
what do
people are
you
gonna
think?
cry. Think how many people would cry if Edge doesn't come back and win. You know, what I mean, I personally, I'd like Roman to win. I that's why I prefer because I prefer Roman over Edge. I love Edge. He's great, but I didn't grow up with him. You know what I mean? I'm a lot
Okay.
younger. I grew up with Roman Reigns. So I don't really get. I do understand why people love Edge, but I don't get it as much as older people do. So
Hmm.
coming from a younger point of view, I'd like to see Roman win because he is the star of WWE right now. Edge, he is a star, but he's not the guy, is he?
Not anymore. This is 2021. Edge talked about wrestling over 4 decades.
Hmm.
No, he should not be beating the top star in the company
Hmm.
in 2021. Period.
Yeah,
Um, let's also put some emphasis on what Roman is right now. Um,
he's the
this
best character in
man,
WWE.
yeah, dude, literally, and not even just that, he's become the biggest heel in the entire industry.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah,
he's what he always was supposed to be, but they dropped the ball on him so many times.
yeah, but you can definitely tell a difference. Like he's been doing acting lessons, I think, when he was off for a bit.
You think so?
Yeah, it was. I think it's true. He was actually doing acting lessons. Just obviously the little things like his facial expressions and the way he talks, you can definitely see an improvement. I think.
I didn't think that's what it was. I thought it was mainly because like he's even said he's wanted to be heel for years.
Yeah.
So what I thought it was, I thought he was just more excited to do it,
Mhm.
and so the effort that we're seeing is a product of his excitement. That's what I thought it was, because he was. I feel like he already had a lot of these tools to begin with. He
Yeah.
just, it was such a bland thing. He was doing the same thing every week. There was a point where I was bored of it. As like the big,
Yeah.
like I
Oh
had this
God. Yeah.
big poster of Roman on my wall, and I was getting bored of it.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's not the ideal way in which he turned heel. He was, let's be honest, he was forced, not forced to be heel, but like it's like Rollins as well. People wanted Rollins top of the card so bad, winning all the championships. Then they just got bored of him. They wanted a new
Yeah,
toy, if you know what I mean. And then
not even just that. So that's another discussion too. I feel like Seth was on some heavy Roman energy.
hmm
Like they pushed him in such an obnoxious way. Um,
yeah, very true. Like with
yeah,
the
like
Becky
just,
Lynch stuff, it was so
oh my
forced,
god,
so forced. It wasn't needed as well, and it also took a lot away
Becky's
from Becky.
boyfriend.
It took a lot away from Becky as well.
Dude, it's the Becky's boyfriend remark. Everything. Oh my gosh! Every time we saw
Michael Cole
Roman,
would just say it over and over.
the worst. And I know it. Like people hate Michael Cole for all this stuff, but it's like
It's
he
not.
has Vince in his ear. We know that. Like Vince McMahon is in his ear telling him to say this stuff. You think this man really wants to waste his time with all this dumb stuff?
Yeah,
Like, you know what I'm saying?
it's crazy the stuff Vince wants to be said on the commentary because I was watching the podcast, the interview with Chris Van Vliet with Mike Chioda. If I don't know if I botched the name, I don't really.
No, that's right.
And he said before, he was saying the commentators used to say referees' names, and they were saying these names and names, and Vince was like, "Oh, who's that guy?" The commentators bringing up, and then they'd be like, "Oh, that's the name of the referee, whoever was in the ring, the ref at the time." And then Vince was like, "Huh, I don't like that. Don't say it again." And they never said referees' names ever again. But it's really weird the kind of stuff he wants to be brought up on commentary. So like specific things, and he wants it done in a certain way. It's very very strange.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, dude. That's ugh. That's you could write a book on the list of things that he does and says in his own way that are detrimental to the product.
Absolutely.
Let's go back a little bit.
hmm
We deviated a little bit away
Only a little
from
bit. Only a little bit.
yeah, just a little bit from the Edge segment. I haven't really been watching SmackDown lately, just because it's I don't know, the product has
SmackDown's
just
been
been
fantastic. When SmackDown has a good week, it is probably the best wrestling show in the world, in my opinion. Like
oh, definitely
when it went on a good week.
on a
Um,
good one for sure.
but the women's division and stuff is, yeah, we'll get to that. But
Oh yeah.
this
Um,
segment actually, the opening segment, it was a change because it wasn't Roman opening the show for once. Which Roman's been involved in all of the openings of the show except for this week
right.
for like the past probably 10 weeks or something. I don't know, but it was different. But when I felt the dialogue between Bryan and Edge, it wasn't. Awkward's not a word I want to use, but it was sort of like forced in a way,
Yeah, I
very
agree.
forced. But I'm
I mean,
glad. I'm glad that Bryan said when Edge was moaning about Bryan shouldn't be in this match. I'm glad Bryan said, Edge, you were the ultimate opportunist back a few years ago. I am glad they brought that because they didn't reference that. Then I don't. Well, what is the point? So I'm glad Bryan did that. Also, Bryan was very botchy last week's promo, and he was better this
wait,
week.
I didn't see last week. What happened?
Oh, he just stumbled a lot of words. I mean, it happens to the best of them, but it was very out of character for Bryan. I didn't expect
Well,
it.
this week I'll say that he definitely delivered.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
that was a Daniel Bryan promo. If anything, I feel like he outdid Edge a little bit.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's just nice seeing two veterans talking to each other. Like
Hmm.
it's weird. Then Edge had this line, and once again, this is this is when you've got to suspend belief, and I guess
Hmm.
I don't know because Edge had this line in his promo where he talked about being like he said he was better than Daniel Bryan. And I was just like, at what? Because it's not wrestling.
No, it's definitely absolutely not wrestling, and it's absolutely not a best finisher move. Because if you've seen his spear,
Oh my gosh, dude! Did you notice? Like, did you notice? When he did the spear to Roman at what was the pay-per-view?
oh, elimination chamber.
Right. He did the spin like Roman does. That was the first time he's ever done that.
I think the best spear in WWE is definitely Bobby Lashley.
I think I actually have to agree with you. Like force and
Hits like a truck.
aesthetically.
It hits like a truck.
Hits like a truck and it looks good.
Yeah.
Um, I feel like you have to have both. Like
Mhm.
Goldberg used to hit people really hard,
The
but in my
Goldberg.
oh, that's terrible. Oh my god, don't even get me started.
But I have something I was just thinking about. Like, with they're committing so much to Daniel Bryan in this feud. You're thinking that well they have to do a WrestleMania for Triple Threat because why? Well, what my question is, Bryan is not going to beat Roman Reigns.
No,
I don't know.
nobody,
It's like I'd say 80% chance that Bryan is going to lose.
nobody should be beating Roman Reigns right now. Nobody.
So when he does lose, I don't see what's going to happen because if Edge is not going to lose next week on SmackDown, it would make absolutely no sense. If Edge was to lose against Jay, as much as Jay's great.
Oh yeah, no.
However, so say Edge is the special enforcer, which happened in the last segment of the show for Fastlane, and they've got to do some sort because that's the three of the guys will be in the ring, who've sort of been mixing with a feud together the past couple of weeks. So if Bryan loses that, what's he going to be doing at Mania? Is he just going to go after Jay? Or is he going to be involved in this like, sort of triple threat? Like, when Bryan loses, what is going to be Bryan's excuse? Like, I lost. Like, please
Yeah,
let me into this WrestleMania match because I don't see much you can do.
I don't.
Maybe Edge screws him over.
I don't see it being clean. I don't see it, and I don't see that either.
Absolutely not.
I don't know. There's a few ways it can go down, but I don't see any of those ways being clean.
Yeah, he's just going to ask Adam Pearce for, I was screwed over, give me a WrestleMania main event match. Adam Pearce, oh, okay.
Well, so are we talking about the Fastlane match?
I'm talking about after the Fastlane. What's
After
going to happen
Fastlane.
to Bryan?
So Fastlane ultimately feels useless to me.
Yeah, you could probably build a bit more. It's kind of
That's another thing. They don't build ever.
hmm.
WrestleMania has like no matches announced right now. Like
No.
Bad Bunny's match, I think.
The match card isn't even finished. It's not even finished.
Yeah, not even a little bit. It's like I think it has two or three matches
Mhm.
on the entire card.
And there's no part timers being announced. Surely they announced part timers by now, don't you think? Like, obviously Cena said he's not going to be doing it, but if Cena was to come back, no, you want everyone to know John Cena's going to be in WrestleMania like 5 or so weeks before. Wouldn't you want to know that now? Not after Fastlane?
I mean, yeah, and I don't think like the surprise thing doesn't really work during the quarantine era.
No. Although there's going to be there's going to be fans in attendance. 25,000 fans, I believe, will be in attendance for WrestleMania.
Oh yeah, that's right. I keep forgetting. I mean, even with that, I still don't think it'll work. If John Cena pops up out of nowhere, man, I don't know. I just don't see it.
No, I don't. There won't be many big returns. They should all be announced in advance. Yeah, we'll go back to the segment with Edge Bryan. I think we talked about pretty much what.
Pretty much everything. Yeah, and then he leaves.
Well, actually,
Yeah.
we'll just because it's sort of it correlates with the first segment. We'll just go to the last segment now. Just talk about it because it's the same characters. And it's probably the main talking point of the show.
Yeah.
So obviously after then, it's announced the contract signing. Roman Reigns wants his chair at head of the desk because he's head of the table also, which is always kind of cool. Adam Pearce is just scared again as usual. So Bryan signs the contract and he's sort of goading him, Roman's like, nah, I'm not feeling it this week. So Bryan's goading him into it. he's saying all these things, but then
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and remember this line. Yeah, he said. Brian said it was a really cool line. He said, I actually made Jay quit where you couldn't."
Ooh, that
It
was
was
great.
great. It was a great
That
line,
was
and
great.
Roman, he went angry, and he signed a contract. So it was a really, really good
I
line.
just
Go for it.
I loved it. That whole thing, Daniel Bryan just like going on this like basically this like mini attack,
Yeah,
like pushing all of Roman's buttons. It was hilarious. I thought it was funny, and you
yeah,
could tell he was enjoying himself too.
yeah, definitely. I think it's typical heel stuff. Like, oh, I don't want to sign a contract, but then his face goes this, that. Oh, you made me mad. I want to beat you up. Sign contract, but it was done in a good way, in which it made me feel it wasn't original. It was different.
It
Obviously,
definitely
then
was different.
it was a lot different to typical contract signs. I think it was a really really good one. Then Edge, obviously, or Jey Uso flips the table after Uso. I said Uso. Uso
Yeah, it
flips
was
the
Jay.
table.
Jay flipped the table
He's
after.
going, don't say this to me.
Yeah.
Um, which is cool. I mean, tell people what you think. You told me this earlier. Not on
Oh,
recording, but tell me what you think of Jay. It's a
so
really hot, well, strange
I
opinion.
mean,
Go for it.
so what I was saying was that I'm like the biggest Uso mark ever. Like actually, like I have this like massive fan page. Like I'm the biggest Uso fan ever.
Hmm.
Um, so for me to say what I'm about to say, I really don't feel like anybody can be like, oh, he's just hating on it. Like no, I I just haven't been enjoying it. I feel like the way Jay is being portrayed now is coming off really, really forced.
Hmm.
When he was with Jimmy and they were doing all their lines and their everything felt it felt natural and organic. Now when he's doing his whole thing, you gonna get got. It feels super forced.
Hmm.
I also and I've been feeling this since the very beginning, like after he acknowledged Roman or whatever. I don't like seeing him portrayed as like this little butler, pretty
Yeah.
much. I don't. It doesn't work for me. And what I told one of my other friends was that if this is what it's gonna be when Jimmy comes back, is both of them doing this,
Hmm.
keep it. I don't want to see it.
Really?
Um, yeah, I
I,
I don't want to see that.
well,
I am
what?
interested in the bloodline,
Okay.
but if yeah, you know what I'm saying. But I want closer to an equal. Like we understand we're supposed to be making Roman as big as he can be, but the Usos are also not punks, and they're making
Yeah.
Jay look like a punk.
Well, I think Jay was definitely elevated before, and when he actually got the first shot against Roman, he beat Bryan. And he took Roman to
100%.
the limit. Um, oh,
Exactly. But now look at him.
and I honestly, it was my favorite match of the year. I don't know, just because not the in ring work necessarily, just
Story.
like just the story. People criticize WWE so much, but that match, the Hell in a Cell match between Roman and Jay, was so good.
I agree.
It was incredible, and that
You
was
mean
the
like Roman
peak of
crying and
Jay.
stuff?
Yeah, that was the prime sort of Jay. I don't think I'm not thinking as the situation as worse as you. I like Jay. But although in the past few weeks he hasn't got many wins. I don't get any wins at all.
Oh, like that's my thing. It's not. No, I enjoyed that. Don't get me wrong. I enjoyed the Hell in the Cell. I enjoyed all that. Um,
Hmm.
like you said, it was peak storytelling. But I'm talking about where he sits right now. After he acknowledges Roman, he like Edge even said the same thing
Yeah.
last. You know what I'm saying? He said that. He's like, you've become this like lapdog, and you walk around with your head down and slouched over, which he does. I don't know. I get that it's supposed to be like character development or whatever, but it's such a big change from like 2017 Usos. Like really,
Okay.
you see
Okay.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
It
understand
doesn't
your point of view.
feel right.
I think it was a transition as well for Jay becoming a singles guy. People might have
Okay.
thought, this is a bit weird, but I think definitely when Jimmy comes back, he's gonna probably. It depends how they want to run with it. If Jimmy straight up acknowledges Roman after Rome, I think Jimmy shouldn't acknowledge Roman straight away.
I
I
don't
think
think
Jimmy
so
should
either.
try to sort of like convince Jay,
Rebuild.
why are we doing,
Right.
why are you doing this? So then
Well,
maybe that'll
another thing.
add a bit. Go for it, go for it.
Yeah, I mean, well, so the last thing we saw was, or maybe not the very last thing, but one of the last things we saw from Jimmy
Hmm.
was him getting put in the guillotine by Roman.
Hmm.
So it's like, enforcing Jay to quit.
Yeah,
Heck no. It wouldn't make any sort of sense for him to come back and just be like, "Oh, I acknowledge you."
yeah,
No,
definitely.
you know what I'm saying. So that's what I'm waiting on. I'm waiting. Like when he comes back, we need some, at least like a decent.
We need a
Like,
Jimmy versus Jay match. That's what we need.
I mean, I wouldn't be against that, but like we need to resume at least a little part of what was going
Yeah,
on. Let's not act like that didn't happen.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? He choked him out and used him to get Jay to quit. Yeah, he better be angry as fuck when he comes back. Like,
definitely.
you know what I'm saying? So, and that's another thing that WWE likes to do is like they'll have people act like something didn't happen. Like
Hmm.
we're all supposed to forget.
They question our intelligence a lot.
Right. And
And
it's
a quick
really,
example of that, I know it's not in this
yeah,
segment, but Otis and Gable, the Alpha Academy, they teamed with Robert Roode and who else? Dolph Ziggler. I wonder what happened last year at WrestleMania. Who was Otis having a blood feud with going into that WrestleMania and actually facing a WrestleMania? I think it was Dolph Ziggler, wasn't it?
exactly.
Huh.
Oh
Oh, that's
my
kind of weird.
god.
They just we forgot about that. I mean,
I mean, it apparently didn't happen in the eyes of WWE.
but yeah,
So
I won't
what is
go
it?
off
Yeah.
off topic because I. But what I'm trying to
No,
say
that was
is,
actually a really good point.
yeah, there's a lot
Yeah,
of things. I will
it's
say, after Edge comes in, obviously they have Brian standing tall after all the brawl that Jay Flips did where Edge comes in and never brawled. Brian then does a running into Edge, so Brian's standing tall out of all this. So it's probably be like hey guys, this Brian Daniel Bryan he can really win. So don't think it's an obvious outcome at the fast lane. Brian's not gonna win.
that.
It's not gonna win.
Oh,
Um, Paul Heyman is standing on his own, but did you see WWE backstage?
no,
Not backstage. Talking Smack.
no.
It is one of the first shots. Someone in WWE is on WWE programming is taking it. It's a first shot they've taken at AEW in a while. Um,
Oh, I saw something about it. It was Paul Heyman, right?
it was Paul Heyman. He was saying
What did he? Oh, he said.
Edge. He was
He
talking about Edge,
said.
and he talked about Christian. Christian, sorry.
Yeah, he said that he just ran away, and like, really, is this what we're doing?
It was.
Oh,
I mean,
gosh.
I think it was AEW have trolled WWE a lot more recently than WWE have
Oh,
done to them
100%.
with the brass room, which is so stupid. I don't want to talk about that. But Paul Heyman was saying, Christian. He didn't refer to Christian, but he said, Edge's little buddy. He ran off. He ran away because he knew he was just going to be in Edge's shadow or something like that. I don't know. Roman was going to do something to him. So yeah, I thought that was kind of interesting how Paul Heyman is taking it into his own hands just to sort of react to Christian. Christian just taking AEW over WWE.
Maybe he felt like he could do that because it was on a smaller scale. It was on Talking Smack, which a
Yeah,
lot of people don't watch.
yeah,
Like
definitely.
the same way that it almost feels like it's open mic
Yeah,
when people,
yeah. There's no
you know what I'm
script. There's no
saying?
script there. There's no script. No scripted talk there at all.
Did you hear about the last time, like, or one of the few times that Mustafa Ali was on there?
Oh, he just tore into WWE, and you're saying these old guys. He's not doing himself any favors, as true as
He
he
got
is.
in trouble.
Hmm.
Like he talked about the piped in, which, by the way, before we go here, that just reminded me. During the entrance for Daniel Bryan, you hear all the fake yes chants.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, dude.
This
It's
has
so
popped into this
obnoxious.
has popped into your mind out of nowhere.
I mean, cause yeah, like I remembered it. Like I haven't been watching much, so like I don't even. like coming back to
Hmm.
that, dude, fake chants are obnoxious, but like fake yes chants, oh my goodness. Why do they do this? Like,
I mean, yeah,
and
I
it
mean,
already comes off artificial anyway because everything WWE does, it's super over polished and you know what I'm saying?
yeah, okay, I understand. Yeah, I
It's too
mean,
clean.
it's, it's either yes, these yes chants, or it's just Daniel Bryan jumping up and down a ramp with just a dead silence as Michael Cole. So, here comes Daniel Bryan, doesn't Daniel Bryan skipping down the ramp?
Awful. And like or like anytime Roman does anything, the fake "you suck" chants. Terrible. They've got to do something differently because it's not good.
Well,
Um,
at least it's Michael Cole not going the pig dog every single time. I'm fine with that.
I honestly didn't. It never really bothered me. Like
But
I know it bothered a whole bunch of other people, but it never bothered me.
what we do have still though is it's boss time.
I was about to say that one. Oh man, that one was it was a little bit more rough for me.
Yeah. Apologies to my
Can we talk
Michael Cole
about this?
impression as well.
Can we talk about this freaking Reginald and Nia segment? Oh,
Take it away. I have nothing to say. I have nothing to say. You go for it.
I actually. So, this is not going to be a popular opinion,
Hmm.
but I actually like Nia Jax, and I have
Really?
since. Yeah, I mean, you already know how I feel about all of the Islanders anyway, so that helps her case.
Hmm.
But since the very beginning, I've liked her. Like I went to like this Smackdown, I believe it was a Smackdown like years ago, like 4 years ago or something. And her music hit, and I was like, yes. I wasn't even in the actual like arena yet. I
Hmm.
was like in the hallway or something and could hear her music. Like I was actually getting excited for it. Like so, yeah, I'm a fan. I do think she needs to improve, but
Hmm.
mm, I still I think she's decent. Like not in the ring. She's got some stuff to do, but she's a big girl,
Yeah,
and
definitely.
so I think that makes it easier for her. She doesn't have to worry about any. She's not going to be doing any Daniel Bryan type wrestling.
No, no
So
Reginald
you know what
flips.
I'm
No
saying?
Reginald flips.
So yeah, so she could actually improve if she wants to. But I'm saying so this segment, um, this wasn't completely her fault for the simple fact that WWE has been doing. They've been doing segments like this for a really long time.
There was actually
The
one
weird.
before you go on to this.
Hmm?
There was one good thing about this segment, and it was Shayna Baszler just sitting there looking bored on her phone because that's all. That's what all we everyone else watching it was doing. That's what we all were doing. So that's all I
Correct.
have to say.
I agree. Like Shayna Baszler was, she was definitely the embodiment or the representation of literally all the fans.
Yeah,
Because
definitely.
I mean, I was watching this and it was just like the weird music, and I was just like, is this really what wrestling has become? That's literally what I said.
It's
Like, is this
more
really,
sports entertainment.
dude? Like I understand that uh it's wrestling. You know, it's Vince doesn't like pro wrestling.
No,
Like
he likes
literally,
sports.
he doesn't.
Vince wants sports entertainment. Vince doesn't
Exactly.
like indie stuff. Triple H probably that's why NXT is so different to
Think about
main
that though.
roster.
Think about how bad that is, and how that will work to the detriment of not only the product but the people actually trying to wrestle. Like
Okay. However, what I'm going to say, I don't know if you'll agree with this. I think if WWE was to, let's say, after WrestleMania, switch to indie style wrestling, I don't think it's going to be good for them at all.
like you said.
I just don't think people want over the top, like, spot fest wrestling. So
Well,
it takes away
no,
from,
you can go.
a spot fest wrestling. It takes away from another spot. So like, say we every week we don't get like some from someone go for a table, do we?
No.
So what if there's like two table spots? Then someone just randomly gets a ladder out or something. I'm being so over the top right now, but it takes away from an actual spot. a good spot because you're doing so many. Like it's like the viewers being overwhelmed. Like, oh well, okay. Well, I mean,
It doesn't have to be like AEW level. Like every match is
oh
like,
man, yeah,
you know what I'm saying? But
yeah.
like, think about NXT
Hmm.
and well, Prime NXT, like 2018.
Oh man, yeah.
Um, that for me, and you know, it's not even like it's different because, you know, you've got your big men and your characters but the thing about that is nothing like that feels like it used to. And
Oh,
I'm not even
NXT used to
talking
be the
about
best show on the planet. Man. It was so good.
not even just like NXT, but I'm talking main roster. It
Yeah.
doesn't feel the same. And like people are like, "Oh, you're talking about the Attitude Era. Wrestling's not the same." No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when I enjoyed it.
Mm.
So like 2012, like I remember after like at school at lunch, me and my friends would talk about what we thought would happen on the next show. So like when SmackDown and Raw were connected.
Hmm.
So like if something happened on Raw, we'd be like talking about what would happen on SmackDown or like
Yeah.
it was exciting. And I haven't felt that way with WWE
No.
since like maybe what 2017 maybe.
No.
It's like God, it's like it's dying.
And that's what I'm
It's
so. That's
literally
why. That's
dying.
what I'm so grateful for Roman because he's. This is the best stuff we've got in here for year, like the
In
past year,
years.
years, man. Yeah, it's so good, and that's why
And
they've really not dropped the ball with it as well. They've been so
right,
consistent with it. Um,
knock on wood though. I
yeah, I mean, I think Roman's having more creative control over his character. Um,
do too.
same
But I mean,
same with
think about
Apollo.
Paul
I think
Heyman.
same with Apollo. Um, he had so much. Apparently, he had a lot of creative control over his character, and you know, he was saying, you know, due to because last week when he changed accent and stuff, it was a lot of controversy about it. But I thought it was great. I loved it.
It's because it was strange. It's like it's the Kofi thing, but like reversed.
No, because this is the impression I get from. We'll go. We'll just quickly talk about this. Screw
Yeah.
Nia Jax or that Reginald thing because they don't deserve to be talked about. Because Reginald takes up half the woman division time on the show. So with Apollo, I think the story they were trying to tell. It's. I know. I'm not. I couldn't. I'm not make. I could be making this up because they should be telling us this. You know, like no, we shouldn't be forced to make stuff up. But the impression I'm getting from it is, you know, he come over to America and he forcefully changed his accent because he was getting made fun of. Obviously, he said he come from Nigeria, and he's saying, you know, oh, but do you ride lions to school and stuff? People would say to him. So maybe I think they're trying to portray that this is his actual accent, like and the American accent that was fake. That wasn't actually his accent. He was just doing it so he didn't get made fun of, pretty much. So he did that, and then you know, there's a lot of the things that he was talking about. People were like, why is he coming out with this? This I was talking about last week, but I'll quickly just bring it up. Why is he coming out with two guys in military outfits? But you know, apparently it's all like factual stuff and accurate stuff. Like with the spear, it's all accurate because his family tribe or something. I'm not going to go into it because I don't remember it all. But and the people loved it. Yeah, I don't know how
Well,
you thought about it.
for one reason I feel people loved it, is because a Apollo actually has some freaking dimension to his character
Oh yeah,
now
he's great.
instead of just being smiling flippy guy. And
Yeah, great. He's great.
like now he's actually, and that's another thing. I don't know if you noticed, but there's a sense of urgency.
Yeah,
Um,
it's a sense of like, oh, this guy could actually win a win. No, you know what I mean?
well, not even just in that. I think he knows that like this is the last time that he has before before he's probably done. Really, like
What
I'm
in terms
talking
of
about
like that
like
he won't get pushed
not
again?
used.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. So because it's been how many years has he been on the main
he's
roster?
been there
What?
a while, like 4 years maybe,
It'll
but
yeah, exactly. And he's done literally nothing up to this point except lose.
and
So,
well then he got a slight push on the US title.
oh, right. I see. And look how forgettable that was.
Hmm.
Like he didn't do anything, and then because they also don't make titles feel important anymore, I literally
Oh,
forgot about that.
think about when John Cena had that United States title and he was doing open challenges
The open
every
challenges,
single week.
dude,
Think about when Miz had the Intercontinental Championship. That was the best title on Raw.
dude. And I that's another thing. Like I can't even stand Miz, and I'll admit that he made the title important in that
So
moment.
yeah, it was so good. And
Um,
Cena, man, they really elevated titles, both of them, and
yeah, and that's what I'm saying. We don't get that anymore, and that's another reason why so many people are dropping off from wrestling. Like, dude, even in our own chat, Jack asked earlier. He asked how many of us still watch wrestling, or
yeah.
and are still excited to watch it. Literally, I don't think a single soul said yes. Like, if you know what I'm saying, that's so sad.
I'll try and force myself to be excited for Mania. I am slightly excited for a lot of things at Mania, but I wish I could be more excited because I don't know what matches are going to be going on.
Yeah, it's because we don't even like we rely on like Instagram or like YouTube. We don't really watch the shows. Um, I don't know. Like, I want to be excited too. The
I'm
I
not,
am
yeah.
actually I'm pretty excited for the Roman Reigns Edge. Now I'm excited with Daniel Bryan in the mix. I am excited.
I hope you're going to be
Before
prepared for
that,
Roman to
I was
lose.
not.
I
Yeah,
hope,
dude. Like
just be prepared.
I understand. Like we know what the outcome is going to be. We don't know how they're going to reach that point.
Hmm.
Like we don't know what the finish is going to be. It's probably going to be a fuck finish, but yeah, like you know what I'm saying. Like
Yeah, I
that's
know.
pretty obvious. Nobody Roman's not losing, um, and he's not beating any of them clean. Well, I don't think it's going to be. It's not going to be clean. Like there's a lot that can happen.
Hmm.
Jay is a variable. Um, the whole it's a lot, but I don't see Roman losing at all. And if he loses, it's going to be DQ.
Definitely, yeah.
Um,
I don't know,
but
bro.
like I
They
said,
won't DQ in the main event of WrestleMania. No,
ah,
no.
this is dude. Would you really be surprised with
Yes,
everything that's
I,
happened to this point?
yes, and that would be the breaking point for me.
Man, I wouldn't. I wouldn't even really be like they've done so much
I would,
other
I would
like
literally just watch NXT then. I would literally,
ah,
NXT's been great, man.
I don't blame you, dude. Um, yeah, and that's pretty much the main talking point is that those two things. So I am really happy to see the direction that Apollo goes in. But let's also talk about Biggie. First off, that was almost scary
What,
because
how good the promo was,
dude
or
came
his
in.
intensity?
Yeah, he came in normal as fuck. So he came in
To his very
literally
nice
like
new theme song, which he had a few weeks ago,
yeah.
but it's still great.
He came in here goofing off like Biggie does, and then he just flips this switch, and he's like, "I'm going Old Testament on you," and he's talking about an eye for an eye, and he's like, if you come onto my lawn, I'll bulldoze your house. Like, dude. And he's like shaking and stuff. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, this is another reason I don't think they should be trying to take the title off of Biggie yet.
No,
I think it's too early.
but
He just
that
got the
begs the question.
title.
That begs the question: will he be going for the top title?
I honestly, with build, it would make sense. Yes.
Yeah.
I would 100% be okay with him going, even if he was somehow the one to take it from Roman.
Ooh.
Build him up. Biggie has all the tools. He can do this. Like you heard Paul Heyman talk about it
Yep,
on
definitely.
Talking Smack.
He does. He's really he's main
Dude,
event worthy.
Biggie is special. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like if we turn the knob up,
Hmm.
um, dude, and I think this was a little glimpse of the Biggie that Paul Heyman was talking about, and
Yeah.
everyone was like, "Oh, he's gonna drop the title."
I'd like to.
First off,
I'd like to see that Biggie. You know, a more
yeah,
serious one.
exactly. This this title this title reign, it hasn't really been anything special yet, and he's had the title since Christmas.
Yeah.
If if they really make him drop the title, I don't know. I feel like this is a situation where they've booked themselves into a corner
Yeah,
because you
definitely.
don't want Apollo to lose,
Yeah, definitely.
but you also don't want Big E to lose right now
Hmm.
because first off, what a worthless reign. Like what a forgettable reign. He didn't do anything. And then he also loses credibility.
I can only assume this can be maybe they do it fast lane screw finish maybe then Mania Apollo wins. I don't know, but I'll quickly go back to Big E. This is just been on my mind because we just talked about Big E with the top title, which would be the Universal Championship at that time. What if Edge wins it, and then next SmackDown just announces the big gold is coming back, the World Heavyweight title.
Dude, that would be great.
I just thought, because Edge, he had that title all along for many times, and if anyone would bring it back, it'd be him.
I'd be all for it. Some people complain, oh, we don't need an extra title. That title is necessary for a few reasons.
Just replace the Universal Championship with that, but then all the merch and stuff.
They're not going to do that.
No.
First off, the Universal title was supposed to be an equivalent to the WWE title, and I remember there were people who never ever would ever get the WWE title who would get the world title.
Yeah, so like Mark Henry, for example,
Mark
he
Henry,
did it.
Booker T.
Yeah.
These people, that's another reason I feel like the world title was so important. And that's another thing. It's kind of, the scale is broken because, like I said, they've made their titles feel worthless. But like back when titles meant something, the world title it felt less, but it didn't feel significantly less than the WWE title.
But it made you feel like whatever brand the world title was on, it was the less superior brand.
Right.
That's what it made me feel like.
Exactly.
That's my only complaint about
like, it was still a big deal. I just felt like it was like 2 or 3 notches below the WWE Championship. But I felt like it was still a very important belt. So then when it got merged, I'm pretty sure Randy Orton merged it.
No, I think it was Brock Lesnar. The story because they merged it is because Brock Lesnar didn't want to carry 2 titles with him.
That's so dumb.
He literally won.
Are we sure?
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure.
He unified the belts.
Orton did.
Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure Randy Orton unified.
I read somewhere that I think maybe it was in advance, so Lesnar didn't have to carry 2 titles, but that's what I read somewhere. I wish they never did that.
Yeah,
but that's for another rant, I guess. But
it really is. I don't know.
I could talk about
it. Exactly. But I mean, going on the stuff, we already covered the Reginald stuff.
Yeah, all of needed to be covered because it doesn't deserve to be covered. I don't have nothing against him. Just Nia Jax, like, I don't know, end things with him, and just maybe Reginald goes to NXT Cruiserweight division. I don't know.
My gosh, dude.
He seems like a nice guy, but
Oh, exactly. But this is not. It's cringe. And here's another thing. So next in my notes, I said, "What the hell is Seth wearing?"
Oh man, you didn't like it? You didn't like it?
No.
Oh, I thought it was. I thought it was nice. I liked it. Every time Seth comes out, I'm like, he comes out, he's like, oh, he dresses so well. I don't know what you think. I think he dressed great.
Maybe last week, but this week, no, sir.
Oh man, he was great. I loved his outfit.
He looks like a maniac, and I know that's the point, but oh my god.
Yeah.
And and then Shinsuke, of course, does the whole staring thing, and like I said before we got on here, I can't take Shinsuke seriously.
Go and tell why. Tell why.
Because I just feel like they've done with a whole bunch of others, I feel like they've ruined Shinsuke to a point of it might not be irreparable per se, but I don't see WWE putting in the needed amount of effort to make him believable.
I had a lot of hope after that gauntlet match he won, but then he lost to Apollo last week or something. No, weeks ago. I'm like, what? You can beat Daniel Bryan, like King Corbin, and I think it was Rey Mysterio, whoever it was, but you can't just beat Apollo.
The scale is broken. And like I was telling you, I feel the same way about Cesaro.
Yeah. We'll quickly cover the segment he was in, then we'll go to Cesaro. But Cesaro, he was in a match with Murphy. Murphy, I don't know. We're just going to forget the entire story. The storyline he had. Wanted to get away with Seth Rollins last week. Hey, Seth, it looks like you need some help. Get away from me, Murphy. And then Murphy's just having a rematch with Cesaro. Again, I know they're two good in-ring competitors, but why do we need a rematch when the match last week went for like 2 minutes. Like, why do we need another match?
Dude,
Like, there's
I don't.
no excuse for that, really.
And speaking of excuse, did you see what Murphy commented on the WWE page?
No, I didn't.
So, I actually screenshot it. Um, are you sure you didn't see it?
I'm 100% sure. All I know about Murphy on Twitter is he changed his name to his real name like a week or so ago, a few weeks
Well,
back.
he said, "Let's point out the obvious. The Mysterios used me. I never needed them. I'm beyond one of the most talented in-ring performers on the planet. Aaliyah used me to be on TV and advance her acting career. Dominic used me so he had a reason to stand ringside. Ray was jealous that I became the new face of the cruiserweights, and he was
Oh,
left
that's kind
without
of cool. I like that.
They
Ooh.
took what they wanted, then left me in the shadows. Sounds like my time in NXT.
Okay. Let me just say this. This is cool, but why didn't you say it on TV?
I, I think it's just taking initiative. First off, I it's logic gaps is what it is.
Hmm.
Like when WWE will pull somebody off TV and not mention anything ever. I think this is him trying to he's basically doing damage control.
Yeah. He's trying to save
Like what
himself.
Mustafa Ali was doing
Yeah,
when he
but
was talking
yeah,
about the names.
definitely.
Like, you know what I'm talking about?
It's good when
I think it's
wrestlers
that.
improvise like that. It's good. But
Why is he doing creative's job? You know what I'm
exactly,
saying?
exactly.
Why do these guys have to do this?
You know what? I feel very bad for WWE Creative because they have the best creative team in the world. Let's not forget that. But it doesn't show, does it? Because everything has to go through Vince.
I mean, well,
Everything has
yeah,
to go through Vince. And Bruce Pritchard, he's like he's been hired by Vince because he's Vince's yes man. He knows what Vince will like.
right.
So when creative gives the stuff to Bruce Pritchard, then it's Bruce will show it to Vince, and Vince will like it. But think about the actual good stories we may have if it didn't have to go through Vince.
Man, I mean, yes and no. So, did you see that video where it showed all the writers and they were soap opera writers and all this other stuff?
No, I've not seen it.
Oh, so that might be the reason you feel that way. So apparently, there's this video on YouTube, and they talk about the writers.
Okay.
We have our writers are this and that, and they talk about the background that these writers had. And they're like, there's nothing like wrestling. We have writers that are from soap operas, writers that are from literally everything except pro wrestling. And I was like, how do you think this is gonna benefit pro wrestling?
Soap
Why do we
operas.
have actual soap opera? And I'm not exaggerating. Why do we have actual soap opera writers writing a pro wrestling show? Sorry, man, it's pro wrestling.
I'm just wondering when all the guys are just gonna get in the ring and start singing.
Dude, it's so dumb.
But
And
yeah,
I'm so glad I wasn't watching when we were having karaoke contests and stuff.
yeah. I wouldn't even bother with that. I wouldn't even.
You think?
Yeah.
I just think that wrestling is that's why the excitement is down, even within our own friend groups. I think WWE is ruining it. Like at first I thought it was just down to my mood because, dealing with some of the stuff that I deal with, I thought I thought it affected my my passion for wrestling. No. Because now that I'm in a better place, I still am over here like, what is going on?
Yeah. And when you say this, I'm talking about Raw more than SmackDown because SmackDown's been great. Like other than this week,
I think SmackDown still has room for improvement.
Oh, definitely.
SmackDown,
The women's stuff, maybe some tag team stuff, a lot of stuff, but it's carried by Roman. And
well, I think one reason we feel that way is because the bar has been set so low.
yeah, definitely.
Because I don't think that the stuff on SmackDown is good per se. I think we have our good in
NXT.
NXT too, but Apollo, the Roman stuff, and that's really it. Like if we're talking about stuff that's genuinely good on SmackDown, then Raw, that's a whole different discussion.
Yeah. At least Lashley's champ. That was a good decision. That's really cool.
Yeah, that I mess with that too, but I just think it has a long way to go before wrestling is universally enjoyed again.
Oh yeah, by
And,
casual fans.
yeah, exactly. And
There's
I
no
don't even.
naming. There's no like like familiar names like Stone Cold, The Rock. Like
It's
it's
not even enjoyed by us though.
no. I every week I
You enjoy
love NXT.
SmackDown
I enjoy
or
SmackDown.
NXT?
I love NXT and I love SmackDown, but NXT is my favorite because
I
it's
don't watch NXT. I stopped watching pretty much all of it, dude. AEW, NXT. I stopped. I mean, I'm trying to get back on a consistent schedule, but it's just like, ugh.
I won't share my.
Even the. What were you gonna say?
I'm just gonna say I won't show. I won't share my thoughts on AEW. I could put all of those into a separate video and I'll get a lot of hate. So I'll be prepared to do that when the time comes. Um,
I mean,
yeah.
I'm just saying, like, it. What really happened for me specifically
Mhm.
is that WWE pretty much ruined wrestling across the board for me.
They
So even
made
the shows
wrestling
like
pro sports entertainment.
that's what I'm saying, and like I understand that there's going to be entertainment.
Yeah,
Like AEW has dumb segments sometimes. Like wrestling is dumb. You know what I'm saying? It has
it's dumb. Yeah,
dumb
there's always
like
been stuff like that. It's been
right,
goofy. It's
exactly.
been stuff like
That's what
that.
I'm saying.
It's
So
been yeah.
we're not going to escape that. It's part of what makes pro wrestling what it is. But to completely like
Put the
almost
entire show full of
yeah,
goofy.
like don't kill the wrestling part. Like I don't even understand how that works in Vince's mind.
Kurt Angle used to do a lot of goofy stuff, but he was still so credible and so good. I mean, I'm not going to say I grew up with him because I was probably like 1 year old when he was wrestling every week on SmackDown. But when I watch back, like obviously the segments, I don't know, I forget who it was. Like it was like I'm an idiot card. I think it was with Edge. I think I'm an idiot and all that stuff. Like it didn't. It made him. It was funny and it made Kurt Angle seem a bit of a. It didn't make him seem like an idiot as much. Like although that's what it tried to portray. But every time you go to the ring, you'd still think he's credible. Um, who does the comedy now? Do you think?
You said what?
Who do you think is doing comedy the most on the roster?
Oh, hands down. Oh, ooh, are you talking about across both brands?
Yeah, any run.
Oh, hands
Just
down,
think
my
so.
truth.
Okay, R-Truth, that's his gimmick. So do you think this is like a serious wrestler who does comedy and then goes out and have a match?
Um, I mean, if we're talking about comedy, there's not like a whole bunch of like actually.
No,
I mean,
that's my yeah.
Big E maybe.
It's spread comedy. It's sort of spread out. Drew Gulak, that's a great example. He does.
I haven't seen his stuff
Yeah,
lately.
because he's put on like once every 3 weeks with comedy stuff, and then he goes out there, and you know he's gonna lose.
Oh, they turned Drew Gulak into a comedy act.
Yeah, that's on Raw. You probably don't watch Raw, do you? I don't
This
blame you.
company, dude. Oh my gosh,
But I think about Gulak that match with Brian before, and it was
he's too good for that. I'm not even like, I'm not even like a Drew Gulak fan,
he's just a
and
good
I'm
wrestler. He's a
saying
great
he's
wrestler.
too good for that.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh my
definitely.
gosh.
But yeah, we'll get back to the
Absolutely.
whatever we were saying.
Right.
We'll keep. What was we were talking about? The Rollins and stuff. Rollins Cesaro, that'll be a good match at Mania. I'm guessing Rollins will go through Shinsuke Nakamura next week or at Fastlane.
Correct.
So that's going to give Shinsuke another loss, and then I don't know what
Let's
you want
talk
to
about Cesaro for a second.
go for
So
it. Go for it.
I think
Actually, before you get go, if we talk about Cesaro, we're really not going to talk about the tag match, are we?
no.
No, we'll just end the show
I
with you
kind
got
of
your
ignored that whole thing.
you tell us about Cesaro, then we'll wrap it up there.
So Cesaro, and by the way, I was ignoring the tag match because
What's there to say?
it's so forgettable. Like I don't even remember half of what was happening.
All I'll say about that match, it was really fun to watch, but fun and forgettable.
Might have to go back, but I think Cesaro, and a lot of people may not share the same opinion, but like me personally, it's the same way I feel about
Nakamura.
who are we talking about? Yeah, exactly. Like he's gonna have to be built up before I believe he's gonna be beating all these people. Like he just put down Daniel Bryan, and I know that it's all in the effort to push him and build him, but I think they need to start lower. Like they've made him such a loser. Like they've done it to so many people. You can't make somebody a loser for all of these years and have all these start stop pushes and like have these times where you pull him off TV
Hmm.
and we don't see him for months because he's in catering, and then expect me suddenly to be like, "Oh, I believe in Cesaro." No,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
not
I
gonna
got you.
happen. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of
Yeah.
people are like mad when I say that, and I'm like, "How? Where? Like, how does that make sense to you? How? Like, and like I said, I Cesaro is stupidly talented. Like, he is criminally underrated.
Hmm.
But before before I can really admire his skill and his before I can really admire that,
Yeah.
I need a better build than what they're doing.
Okay,
You
isn't
can't
it?
just
It's
you know what I'm
strange though.
saying?
I know it's strange why they decided to pull the trigger on him now. Maybe because his contract was expiring. However, Cesaro, people say like, give Cesaro a world title, this that. Cesaro just wants to wrestle. All he cares about is wrestling, having fun, wrestling matches. Like he doesn't care about titles. I don't think as much as having a good storyline. Um,
Exactly.
and that's just the type of person he is. He's not really. He's saying stuff like that on After the Bell. He said, I feel like I was going to get after the bar split up. I feel he felt he was going to get lost in the shuffle, which he did at first, but then now he's in a storyline, with a top guy in WWE, Seth Rollins, and Cesaro's going to go over him. It seems.
That's the problem. I can't. It's not believable to me. Like, yeah, Seth is he's chilling right now, but this is still Seth Rollins.
Hmm.
I'm not gonna believe that Cesaro just automatically comes up out of nowhere and he's suddenly beating Seth Rollins. Oh my god.
And what it'll do, I have a funny feeling that if he'll beat Rollins at Mania, and then what if they just don't have any direction for Cesaro after? What if Cesaro's just fighting Otis every week or something?
That's probably what's gonna happen.
That's my biggest worry.
We'll have to see.
But
We'll have to wait and see what happens.
yeah, I'm not gonna take away Pat. I'm very grateful that they are pushing him because that's why everyone's asked for years. Like so many people have wanted Cesaro pushed. I think that's the most fit. Other than CM Punk return, that's why everyone else has wanted the most Cesaro to be pushed.
I mean,
You can't take
yeah.
that away from WWE. They've actually listened for once. Well, finally, they listened, I guess.
All right, exactly.
So I will give the credit for that. And they seem to be, I know he's so overpowered at the moment, but he's not. I think if he continues this, he's going to be, the most overpowered guy in WWE. So he definitely will be a chump then. He'll just have buried the entire roster,
Basically.
which then people will probably not be happy about. But
No. Not when they have all these people, which I guess we could save this discussion for like
you're
tomorrow
gonna say Andrade.
tomorrow or
You're gonna say
something.
Andrade.
But like just because that was basically going to end up going into everybody who's being misused right now. So yeah, it's a conversation.
Let's go on
for a
Twitter now.
different
We'll go on
time.
Twitter and we'll see Andrade. Like, hey, Andrade's being misused. Hey, let's go send him to AEW. Send him to AEW. AEW. And then where's Miro? What's Miro doing right now? He's in a tag team with Kip Sabian. Where was he? Was in the
Doing
main
just as
event
bad,
in.
if not worse.
I know his wedding segments, and he had Bobby Lashley was kissing Miro's own wife in front of him. But where was he? Was main event in Raws, and now he's just once every 2 weeks he's in a tag match on AEW, and he's talking about grabbing a brass ring. His career has gone down. I could say this for an entire video, but AEW is not elevated in one bit.
No,
Not at all.
not
Um,
kind of a flop, to be honest.
yeah, and I know this is Smackdown. No, I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah,
I'm not gonna
we
say
can
it.
say that for another time because goodness.
I was just gonna talk about Christian and the world title straight away. I'm not gonna say it.
I mean, have we covered? I think we covered everything for this specific SmackDown.
Yeah, well,
All the major,
major things in
or
that
actually,
thing.
we missed. There's one more thing I want to talk about this.
Go for it.
Then we can. So, the Sasha and Bianca thing.
Oh, we completely forgot about that because that's how good it was.
I mean, I love Bianca, and I like Sasha. But
Jo-
this it doesn't feel It doesn't feel important.
Do you want me to sum up their feud for you right now?
You said what?
I'll sum their entire feud up for you right now. I'm Sasha
Their
Banks. I am
entire
Sasha
feud.
Banks. I am Sasha Banks. I am the boss. I am Bianca Belair.
Yeah,
I am the EST. I am better than you. No, I am better than you.
that's literally what it is. It's
That's it. And
that's
then it's
pretty
going to go for the
it.
typical, fastly now, they go for the tag titles. How will these two people coexist with each other? The two opponents at WrestleMania, how are they going to team
Yeah,
up?
and that's been done so many times. Like I'm tired of it.
Why didn't...
This exact scenario has been
Yeah,
done
yeah.
so many times.
And we know what's going to happen. Sasha's going to hit Bianca, and Bianca's going to get pinned, and then, oh my god, such a blood feud. It's not good.
I hope that's not how they do this.
It will be how they do it. It will. I'm just prepared for it.
I know what my bathroom break is, man. Like if that's the case, I know what match is going to be my bathroom break.
Yeah, it's the Raw Women's... The women's tag titles are not that great.
Awful, dude.
I mean, they should have put them on NXT with Dakota Kai and stuff, but they obviously did have their own women's tag titles down there, which kind of takes away the belt floating from brand to brand to brand. It kind of separates NXT now. Considered NXT was being called a third brand, now it separates it back down on its own, which isn't very great in my opinion. I think NXT should be considered the third brand of WWE. No, it's probably still considered developmental, even though Adam Cole and all the Undisputed Era down there and Finn Balor. But
yeah.
I think it definitely needs to be. I think they should. No, I don't want Vince to take control of it, but it needs to be pushed up. It's like this is the third brand in WWE. Like, not. I always thought, what if NXT did what Raw and SmackDown do, where they go around touring every week? But I think that just takes away from NXT, and I don't know if I'd like it. I think
NXT. Well, firstly, I think it would start to get watered down.
By Vince. When the first sign of them watering down NXT was NXT had such a unique title before, didn't they? With a big X in the middle.
Yep.
Vince saw that he was I don't like the title. He just changed it to a generic NXT title. It's not a bad looking title, but I prefer the other one. That's the first sign of it being watered down, in my opinion.
Like I said, different video, not video, but golly.
Well, notice how we started talking about Sasha and Bianca to talking about NXT. That's
dude,
how,
like exactly. It's so hard to like care.
Yeah, I'm not gonna try and care about it, to be honest. If I don't like it, I don't like it. And I feel bad because people are probably gonna think I hate SmackDown, but I really like SmackDown recently. But this has been the worst one they've done in a few weeks.
Oh, they think you hate SmackDown. Wait till they hear how I feel about Raw. Over, dude.
Yeah, you could just show your own video on her, and it'll be a 3 hour long.
Yeah, literally.
Just talking to yourself. Just so much stuff wrong with that, other than Lashley, which her business is carrying Raw. McIntyre's great, Sheamus great, but that's not SmackDown review.
Exactly.
Is there anything else you'd like to bring up? I've pretty much brought it from the...
No, I think that's everything. We can wrap this one up.
Okay, well, I don't know if anyone's going to make it through our constant rambling, because we probably covered like half the show in depth, and the other half was talking about talking smack, AEW, and
we're here
NXT.
for the discussions.
Yeah.
Wrestling discussions.
Yeah, I don't think this should be called a SmackDown review. Maybe just a SmackDown, half a SmackDown review and Ramble.
Right.
But yeah, I think that'll be all.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. Thanks, guys. Whoever's made it to the end of our rambling, like I just said. If you want to comment what you want us to talk about next, like some of the things we mentioned,
Let us know.
that's for another video. Like the big gold belt. Why I hate AEW. Travis's thoughts on Raw. I do hate AEW. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, just let her know. Just let her know. Yeah. But that sums it up. So,
Alrighty.
farewell, guys. I guess.